Dogs might look simple, but some of the things they do have us all scratching our heads. What if they suddenly start eating grass? And is one dog year really equal to 7 human years? Well, hold on to your leash because it's time to debunk these tales and uncover the real scoop. First, let's unravel the myth that a wagging tail is a universal sign of canine happiness. Oh, it's true that a joyous tail wag can be a happy dance, but tails have their own secret Morse code. A slow and low sway might whisper uncertainty, while a brisk high wag could sing a tune of aggression. And don't forget the secret handshake, wag direction. A wag to the right means that they are on cloud 9, while a left-leaning wag signals a tad of unease. It's like they're speaking a tail dialect all their own. But wait, here's a classic, the myth that dog kiss with licks. Sure, those slobbery smooches might look adorable, but it's quite not like us exchanging lovely-dovely glances. Here's a tail-wagging fact, a dog's mouth isn't necessarily cleaner than a human's. Sorry to burst that bubble, but those mouths have been on many adventures, exploring the world and savoring its, well, not-so-sanitary delights. Now let's talk grass. That myth that dogs munch on grass only when they're sick? Well, it's not the whole truth. Imagine dogs as leaf-nibbling philosophers. Sometimes they're munching out our boredom or anxiety, much like humans taping pens during a dull meeting. Research even shows that only a fraction of grass-chomping pups actually vomit afterwards. If your furry friend turns into a grass-gobbling gourmet, it might be time for a vet visit. But here's the scoop. While grass is usually no biggie, not everything they chomp on is safe. You know how we humans have some foods that are a-okay for us, but a no-to-go for our fur buddies? Chocolate, grapes, macadamia nuts, raisins, and onions fall in that category. But don't fret, your trusty vet's got your back. They'll help you sort out the dog's safe menu and keep your buddy on a healthy track. Now let's tackle a tale that's been wagging around forever, the myth about dog years. You probably heard that 1 human year equals 7 dog years, right? Cute thought, but that's not the full scoop. Dogs don't tick off the years like we do, and their timelines aren't a one-size-fits-all deal. Some smaller doggos can strut their stuff for 15 years, while their bigger pals might cap out at 8. And guess what? Dogs hit the fast lane when it comes to growing up. Imagine this, the first year of their life is like 15 human years, and then each dog year clocks in at about 5 human years. Alright, let's clearly err on a few furry things, starting with the hump and lift tails. You know how some folks assume only boy dogs hump and lift their legs to pee? Well, here's the deal, ladies can join on these behaviors too. Humping is always only about romance, it might be a power move or just plain excitement. When it comes to leg lifting, girl dogs can totally do it too. They might mark their turf or signal their heat status to boys. Size matters here too, smaller gals might be more into leg lifting. Let's pivot into a myth that actually affects our furry pals, the bone business. Sure, dogs love to chew and it's good for them, it helps them unwind and keeps their teeth in check. But real bones? Not the smartest choice. Those things can shatter and cause all sorts of trouble. From cuts and splinters in their mouth to stomach issues, chomping down on bones can actually lead to broken teeth or choking. So let's be savvy owners and offer safer alternatives like sturdy nylon toys to keep our fur babies happily munching away without the risk. Let's dig into some more doggy dilemmas, starting with the summer shaving saga. You might have heard that shaving your dog in the warmer months is a great idea, but hold on to your clippers. Turns out, it's not that straightforward. When you give your furry friend a buzz cut, you're actually removing their built-in sunblock and bug bite protection. And if your pup sports a double coat, hey shepherd and retriever owners, listen up. Shaving can mess up their temperature control, potentially leading to overheating. So before you reach for the shears, have a chat with your vet to figure out the best summer strategy for your unique fur baby. Now here's a toy twist. Ever heard that dogs see the world in black and white? Well, that's not actually the case. Dogs do see colors, but not exactly like us humans do. Reds, they see them as dark shades, kind of like brown and blacks. Yellows, oranges, and greens, those sort of blend into a yellowish-ly realm. But here's the cool part, they rock a spotting blue hues. So if you're pondering a chew toy, maybe consider those fetching blue tennis balls instead of the green ones, especially if your playdates happen to be on grassy fields. Just a little tip to keep the fun popping up for your pup. Let's keep busting those dog myths and shedding light on the truth. Remember the whole you need to be the pack leader concept? Well, it's time to debunk that outdated belief. The idea of alpha wolves and dominant dogs have been challenged by none other than David Mack, a wildlife research biologist and the founder of the International Wolf Center. In his 1968 book, The Wolf, Ecology and Behavior of an Endangered Species, he's popularized the term alpha wolves. However, he acknowledges now that the concept is outdated and not an accurate representation of wolf behavior. It's not just mech, other animal behaviors experts also are against the dominance theory. In fact, the American Veterinary Society of Animal Behavior in 2008 recommended that veterinarians steer clear of the trainers or behavioral consultants who base their methods on the dominance hierarchy theory. So you can put aside the idea of having to establish yourself as the ultimate pack leader and focus on building a positive relationship with your furry companion instead. It's all about understanding and cooperation, not dominance and control. Another myth that needs debunking is the idea that playing tug with your dog will turn them into an aggressive and dominant furry creature. This myth couldn't be further from the truth. Tug of war can actually be a fantastic way to bond with your dog and teach them important commands. Playing tug with your dog can be loads of fun for both of you. Not only are you having a good time together, but you're also providing mental and physical stimulation, which helps strengthen the bond between you. And here's the kicker, letting your dog win a tug doesn't mean they suddenly think they're the boss of you. Dogs don't interpret games like humans do. In fact, letting your dog win can enhance their confidence and encourage them to engage with you more. But wait, there's more. Tug of war is an excellent opportunity to teach your dog important commands. For instance, you can use the game to practice the drop it command, encouraging them to release the toy when you ask. You can also weave in other commands and tricks to make the game both mentally stimulating and entertaining. Next up, the myth that dogs have cleaner mouths than humans. Let's set the record straight. It's not about cleaner, it's about different. We both carry an army of bacteria in our mouths, but the types of bacteria dogs carry aren't usually harmful to us. That's where the misconception likely started. So while you might not need to swap saliva with your pup, rest assured that their kisses won't land you in the doghouse. Now, onto a mistake that can lead you down a dirty path. If your puppy has potty accidents indoors, please do not resort to the infamous rub their nose in it tactic. Not only is it ineffective, but it's also unkind. Instead, opt for the high road. Clean up the mess with an enzymatic cleaner. This helps remove the scent and discourages them from the repeating act. Then, take them outside to their designated potty spot, give them a pat on the back, metaphorically of course, and praise them for a job well done. They'll wag their tails in hearts and gratitude. Speaking of tail wags, let's address the slobbery situations of dogs licking your face. It's definitely not just about showing affection or attempting to recreate a sloppy human kiss. In the wild, puppy canines lick their mother's mouths to encourage regurgitation, a handy trick to access food. Gross, right? But it's also a sign that your pup feels bonded and safe around you, like you're their parent. They might also be after a sprinkle of your sweat or a taste of that savory post-snack residue. Long story short, when they lick you, they're saying, "Hey, I like you and I'm a part of your pack." So next time your dog slobbers all over you, remember, it's a love language in their own unique way. One more misconception that seems to have everybody fooled, the idea that all dogs are born with an innate love for playing fetch. It's like a bit of assuming kids have an insatiable craving for candy. While many do, not everyone falls head over heels and paws for it. So if your furry friend doesn't have a natural affinity for fetch, fret not! They're not a malfunctioning toy or an anomaly. Instead of worrying, take a playful approach. Explore different activities and discover what tickles their canine fancy. Maybe they prefer a game of tug of war, a leisurely stroll, or even some mind-boggling puzzle toys. Just like kids, dogs have their preferences too, and finding the activities that makes their tail wag is all part of the adventure. Click on one of the two videos on your screen right now.